Welcome to Travel Marketeering Live. I'm Joshua Harrell, Chief Revenue Officer at World Via Travel Network. If you are new, I am a serial entrepreneur who's built brands across multiple industries. I even spent some time as a presenter on QVC, which taught me more about positioning and trust in 60 seconds than most marketing courses teach in a year. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Quick note for anyone listening on the go, Travel Marketeering Live is also available as an audio only podcast on every major platform. Search Travel Marketeering with Joshua Harrell wherever you get your podcasts. The full show is available most Saturdays. I always say that, most Saturdays. In fact, I was supposed to be here last week, but I fell a little under the weather. And by a little under the weather, I mean a lot under the weather. So I am very happy to be here today. 3 weeks ago, we built a 90-day content plan together. We introduced the Teach, Show, Invite framework, mapped 13 weeks of posts, and talked about batching content so you're not just starting at a blank or staring at a blank screen every morning. If you've started posting using the plan, first of all, drop a TM in the chat right now because you're doing the work. And if you haven't started yet, today's episode is going to give you something even more foundational. Can you believe that? Here's what today is about. You can post the best content in the world, but if someone clicks your profile and you look brand new, unaffiliated, or unclear about what you do, they bounce. By the end of this hour, you will know exactly how to make your online presence signal this advisor is the real deal, even if you just opened your doors last month. We're auditing profiles, bios, credentials, and the trust signals that make people lean in instead of scroll past. Sound fun? Before we dive in, the usual quick things. Let me click my little thing here. Join the Travel Marketeers private Facebook group. If you're watching live, search Travel Marketeers on Facebook and request to join. That's where today's audit worksheet lives, along with replays and a community doing this work right alongside you. The direct link, if you need that, is facebook.com/groups/travel marketeers. Okay, travel marketeers, that's important there. So the other thing I'll ask is subscribe to the World Via Travel Network YouTube channel and turn on those notifications and follow at Travel Marketeering on Instagram and TikTok. And if you're new, a quick explainer. In this community, we drop TM for Travel Marketeering in the chat. It's our greeting, our high five, our joyful noise. It's like saying amen or I'm with you. So drop a TM in the chat right now. Let me know you're in the room. We are broadcasting worldwide right now. All right, here's the opening question for today. Drop it in the chat. When somebody Googles your name plus travel advisor or pulls up your social profiles, what is the first thing they see? Is it clear what you do? Or is it vague, generic, or just a logo and a quote about wanderlust? So be honest here. While you're typing, let me set this up. Here's the truth I see all the time. A brand new advisor posts a thoughtful reel about Italy itineraries. Someone watches, gets curious, and clicks their profile. And what do they find? Tell me, what do they find? A stock photo header from 2019, a bio that says lover of all things travel. There's not a mention of an agency, no host or consortium displayed, no website link, just a person who likes travel. That client doesn't book, not because the content was bad, because the profile didn't match the promise. The content said, I'm a travel expert. The profile said, I'm a hobbyist. One of those two is going to win, and it's always the profile because that's where decisions get made. Looking professional online isn't about pretending to have more experience than you do. It's about removing every friction point between I'm interested and how do I book with you. If you're brand new, you still have credentials. You still have affiliations. You still have a niche you're going deep on. Your job today is to pull all of that where people can see it. All right, I'm going to pop over to the chat and see what's going on over there. Stand by, my mouse is freewheeling and all over the place. Oops, I got to put my little, you know what? Give me a thumbs up if you're liking the new studio. I know it doesn't seem like much to you, but there's a lot of light going on. So getting used to the new setup here. All right. Popping over to the chat. Let's see. Jay Powell. Good afternoon, y'all. TM to you. Michael, always good to see you. Good morning, TM. Aaron, TM back at you. Hello. Rachel, hello. TM. Carrie, good morning, everyone. Good to see you. Jenny, TM, good morning from Southern Illinois. Reshma, good to see you again. TM from Texas. Carrie, given a TM. Let's see. Some of these handles, I can't tell. Impasse. Not sure. Let's see. Debbie, TM from Michigan. Scenic Vacations, TM from Michigan. Good to see you. Oh, our Erica World Via, TM. Happy Saturday, Marketeers. Good to see you. Let's see. TM from Orlando. Rocks Takes. Good to see you. All right. So nobody chose to answer the question I posed. When somebody Googles your name and travel advisor, what do people find? So nobody answered that. I'm going to take that as, I think we've got some, I think we've got some splaining to do, Lucy. All right. No worries here. I'm sure some of you are nodding. Some of you just realized your profile is the problem, and that's okay. We're fixing it today. Okay? We are absolutely going to fix it today. So here's the framework for the next 60 minutes. There are 3 categories of trust signals that determine whether someone takes you seriously online. Okay, so I want you to write these down. Okay, they are affiliation, specialization, and activity. Write those down. Affiliation is who you stand beside, the agency you're hosted with, the consortium that you're part of, the suppliers you've trained with, the associations you belong to. When someone sees logos, certifications, or powered by language on your profile or website, it tells them you're not operating alone. You're connected to a network of expertise. And that's a massive trust amplifier when you're new. This is the stand beside principle from step 2. We talked about it in the April. We talked about it back in April. But today we're getting practical. Where exactly to display those affiliations and how to make them work for you. And just to remind everybody, and let's see, where's my little blueprint guy? We're everything that we're talking about is about the blueprint, the Thriving Travel Advisor blueprint. And this is available if you join the Travel Marketeers Facebook group. This is available there. So please, please, please go check it out. It is what we're following this entire time. We're going through this information. We're going to break this down every step of the way throughout our journey. But please, if you haven't gotten this yet, please go and download it. It's free to download, and it really is the backbone. It's the framework that we're using throughout travel marketing. So, all right, number 2. Sorry, I got distracted on my beautiful blueprint there. So for the second one, specialization, it's what you're known for. We've talked about it, your marquee win. When you sorry. I get so excited about these things, right? So your marquee travel win, your niche, your I help statement. Today we're talking about how those translate into bio lines, headlines, profile descriptions, and about pages. If your bio says travel advisor, you're invisible. If it says I help families plan adventure trips to Hawaii, you're findable. How does that sound? All right. Activity is the proof of life, which sounds very much like a kidnapping show. I realize that. But your activity is the proof of life. The recency of your post, the questions you've answered, the reviews you've gathered, the events you've shown up to. Empty profiles signal that someone's not really doing this. Active profiles signal you're in the work. Activity is what turns maybe into let me message them. All right. So again, those 3 things are affiliation, specialization, and activity. If those 3 are dialed in, you can look booked solid with 0 clients on your books. That's the magic. That's the true magic. Now, let's get tactical. Okay. I'm going to walk you through the audit. I want you to do this weekend. You'll find this checklist on the worksheet, but I want to talk you through it live so you understand the why behind each item. Okay. Again, you can download this on the Travel Marketeers private Facebook group. It's free to join. You just have to fill out a little information and we'll let you in. And I pinned the worksheet to the top along with the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint. All right. So on the worksheet, audit section 1 is your profile and header. Okay. Your profile photo should be a clean, smiling, look at that smile, well-lit headshot. And I don't think I could be more well-lit right now. In fact, my forehead is reflecting light here. So no sunglasses, no group photos, especially those where you kind of crop out the people next to you. I love that you're in Switzerland, but you just cropped out people and we can all see some phantom person's arm. So no vacation selfies from 2017. It's got to be your face, your name, your brand. All right. And this is going to hurt some people. If your face isn't clear, your professionalism isn't clear. I know that's some hard truth there. I know that's some hard truth. So, and about the photos too, you can take a beautiful, well-lit headshot, just with natural light coming through the window, gussy up your face a little bit, take 1,000 photos from your phone, find the one that when you crop into a square looks good. That's the one to go with. And then go hire a professional photographer. You don't need a professional headshot in order to look professional. You just need to capture it again, well lit, smiling, and on smiling, I have a cousin, and whenever he's such an attractive person, okay? He's such an attractive person. And when he smiles and laughs, it is wonderful. The joy, I just light up with joy. Whenever someone takes a photo, he does this. Literally, he does this. It is, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like some kind of trauma from his childhood, but every single time the camera comes out, he does this smile that is painful. I can see the straining in his neck. It is just intense. So, you know what? It doesn't have to be full teeth. It can just be, gently close your lips and think of something. Smile with your eyes. Isn't that called smizing? We can, I don't know if that was smizing. That probably looked really creepy to you. But anyway, the great thing about using your phone to take photos, you can take 1,000 headshots. The sun can be in one spot by the time you started and in another by the time you finish. You will be able to find one really good one. All right. So make sure your profile photo is clean, smiling, well lit. No sunglasses, no group photos, no old photos from 2017. I love those old vacation selfies for social posts in the future, in your photo albums. I love those for that, not for your profile photo that you use in your, like with our members of World Via Travel Network. They have Advisor Showcase on worldvia.com and on Travel Leaders Network. So I love that, these are the types of photos you use there, but also your photos that you would use on social media. So the next thing I'm going to talk about here is your header or banner image should reinforce your speciality. If you're a Hawaii family advisor, that header should feel like Hawaii. If you're a river cruise specialist, it should feel like a riverboat at golden hour. Erica, you like how I use the golden hour there? The header is real estate on these digital profiles. Use it to set the stage for what you do. You'd be surprised at how many people neglect this and use. I've seen it. It almost looks like all the tools from Indiana Jones splayed out on a wooden table. It's some stock photography, right? There's a compass there. There might even be a bullwhip. I don't know. But they're using that to show like travel, explorer. But the problem is that from a distance, it says travel, it says Indiana Jones, but it doesn't say river cruise specialist. It doesn't say Hawaii family advisor, right? So think about these images, and these are the ones that people see before they even scroll, right? So they should be, it should signal exactly what it is, it should do the work of what some of the words on the page are trying to do for you. It doesn't have to tell the whole story, but if I am looking for a river cruise specialist, I should immediately see something that evokes river cruise, right? All right, so in the audit section 2, your bio or tagline, okay? This is the single highest leverage piece of copy you own. On Instagram, you've got around 150 characters. On LinkedIn, you've got a headline plus an about section. On Facebook, you've got an intro and a page description. In every single one of those spots, your bio should answer 3 questions and in this order. And this might shock you a little bit. I think this might completely shock the system, but believe me, I'll explain. So first off, who do you help? Who is your customer? What kind of trip? Okay. And with what agency or host agency, right? A bad version of this profile bio would be travel advisor, coffee lover, wanderlust. Okay. Bad example. Good version, I help families plan stress-free adventures to Hawaii, powered by your host, if applicable, or your travel agency name. Okay. See the difference? The first one is invisible. The second one is searchable, scannable, incredible all at once. Okay. Now go look at your bio right now. This is part of the audit, right? What does it say? What does the first sentence say? Okay. Remember, we want it to be searchable, scannable, incredible all at once. Then you can go into more detail. Okay. Now, the third section of the audit, your affiliations and credentials. Okay. This is where most new advisors leave money on the table. And I don't know about you, but I don't have money that I can leave on the table. I need all the money. Okay. Display your host agency. Display your consortium. Display your supplier certifications. Display your CLIA, IATA, or other industry badges if you have them. These don't go in fine print. They go in your about section, your LinkedIn bio page, your email signature, and on your website footer. Yeah. If you completed a supplier certification, say you're a sandals specialist. I would love to see, hey, have any of you completed a certification like that, whether it was sandals or something else? Say you're a sandal specialist, or if you just finished Alma Waterways Academy, say so. Use the badge if they provided one. Use the language in your bio. These earn you trust the moment someone sees them, right? And they're things that you have access to, whether you just got started or you've been doing this for a while, right? There's something that you can go and get that training. You can go and get that certification without even having a client. So audit section 4, your LinkedIn bio and website. The most common mistake I see is the link in bio that goes to a generic agency website with no personalization. If a prospect clicks your link and lands on a corporate homepage, they wonder if they're even in the right place. You can use tools like Linktree, Bitly, or if your agency has it, your agency's branded landing page to give people clear options. Book a consult, get the planning guide, read a recent travel tips, contact me. Every link should reinforce that this is you, not just a faceless company. And you know what? That to me is something that I feel gets lost so many times when advisors are getting started, agency owners are getting started. They want to show up as a company, but people don't buy from companies. They buy from people. And you're so proud of the brand that you created. You're so proud of the agency you created, but you're missing the fact that people need to connect with you. You need to become known for travel before your company even has a chance. I want to help out somebody. I want to help a new business owner. I want to help out a business owner. I don't want to help out a corporation. That's not even in my nature. I can't tell if a company is passionate about river cruising. I can tell if another human being is. And who am I going to book with? I'm going to book with the human being, right? So make sure that you're reinforcing with every link that you provide that this is you and not a faceless company. Okay. All right. Check-in time. And I can see you guys have dropped some chats in. I'm going to get to them in just a moment, but drop in the chat right now. Looking at your own profile, which of those 4 audit sections is the weakest? Photo and header, bio, affiliations, or link in bio, if you even have that, right? While you're answering, let me share something. So when I was on QVC presenting products live to millions of people, and I'm not saying that to brag, I learned that the first 3 seconds of any presentation decide whether someone watches the next 30. The product had to look like a product. The host had to look like a host. The set had to look like a set. If any of those signals were off, viewers tuned out instantly. And at the end of the day, we were selling products. We could not afford to have viewers tune out instantly. Your online profile is no different. The first 3 seconds, the photo, the bio line, the affiliation, decide whether someone keeps reading or scrolls. That's not pressure. That's clarity about what really moves the needle. You don't need a perfect profile. You need a profile that makes people say, oh, this is someone I should pay attention to. Okay? All right, now I'm going to pop over to the chat. Let me get Mr. Mouse to do my bidding. Come, Mr. Mouse. There we go. All right, so we're going to pop over to the chat. Let me get my chat screen going. Look at me. I feel like such a professional. Oh, you guys have been chatting away. I love this. Let's see. All right. So Carrie was responding to when I asked if you search your name and travel advisor, what comes up? And she said travel leaders comes up first. So she's talking about travelleaders.com. So she has a profile on travelleaders.com. This is brilliant. This means you've published your agent profiler. This means that, and for the most part, if you have published your agent profiler and you type in your name in Travel Advisor, you should come up there. That website has been around for a very long time. That has a lot of trust signals. And that's fantastic to hear. And Michael said, travel leaders, then my website. So very good to see that, Michael. Okay. Frolic and Courage. My TLN profile. Fantastic. I love it. I love it. Look at you guys. I don't know if everybody is a member of World Via Travel Network because you don't have to be a travel marketeer. But that is one of the benefits of being a member of World Via Travel Network is you get a free profile on travelleaders.com. And if you take our online presence course, you can really do a bang up job on that. So I'm glad to see, Debbie, you're doing it too. Michael said my website, my TLN, and then my host profile. Fantastic. This is good stuff. So trust signals all around you. Now, I'll be honest with you. Not everybody is searching for your name in Travel Advisor. Okay. Don't assume that. Now, if I run into you at the Whole Foods and I see you and I know that you are a travel advisor, brilliant. And I'm like, Michael, what was his last name? Travel advisor, my city. I'm gonna find you. That can definitely happen, right? But really what this is doing is this audit is showing you how would you show up here with that kind of branded search where someone is searching specifically with your name and travel advisor. But then beyond that, when people start to consume other bits of content and find you based on what your specialty is, these are the same elements that are going to show up. All the trust signals, all the credibility, all of that still stands. Okay. So fantastic, Michael. Good to see it. All right. Carrie's got a great question here. She said, how do you feel about AI enhanced headshots? I dislike, but am considering. I like that dot, 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 dot. Do you know what I feel about I feel like you should trust your instincts because I have seen some really good ones. I have seen some really bad ones. So you can take a very simple photo and use these different apps and come up with a very professional headshot. As long as it doesn't, I mean, what does everybody do when they take a picture? They're like, make me look thinner, make me look younger, make my hair not have grays. Yeah, I don't want wrinkles. If I'm fair skinned, I want to look tanner, right? So if you start to manipulate the photo too much, let's not catfish our customers. Okay. I, with that's catfishing. We all watch the show, right? Let's not catfish anybody. If I see your photo and then I'm going to do a Zoom call with you or a Teams call with you, or I'm going to meet you for coffee and you don't look like that, I'm sorry. Trust signal fail, right? That's a trust signal fail. So no catfishing here, but I don't have any problem with it. When it's overdone, right? So have a strong photo and make sure it looks authentically you because that's the service that you're delivering, right? So thank you for asking about that because I think people feel like using AI is cheating and it's not. And this is across so many different places. AI is not cheating. AI is just making us all smarter and faster. So guess what? We can do the things that we want to do. We can enjoy the life that we want. We can build the life that we want, right? So yes, you can do this poorly or you can do it really well. And I believe that you, Carrie, will do it well. And Rachel is giving me a smize. Let's see. Frolic and courage. Let's see. I've also seen people talk about putting your logo as your photo. It seems like that's a bad idea because it's not personal and people don't connect to a logo. You know what? I'm going to give you the first of the day. You are absolutely right. Do not use your logo, your icon, because people need to connect with a person, right? And think about it. When you're DMing someone, they're talking to a human being, not a company. Now, when I use the text message support service with Delta, and so it's on iMessage, you can text with their support. It's a fantastic service, by the way. Yes, the avatar is the Delta logo because they've got thousands of employees. I do not expect a photo of the person. But if I'm connecting with an expert, I don't want to see their company logo. I might not even know their company name. I don't care. I care about the person I'm talking to and I want to connect with that person. They're going to help me create the holiday, or if it's business travel, they're going to create the business travel that I want, right? So you are 100% correct. Do not use your logo for an avatar unless this today's episode is really about if you're brand new. Okay. If you're brand new or you've kind of set things up, but you've kind of walked away from it and you're coming back to it. So this is trying to signal that you are book solid even when you have no clients. Now, if you're an agency owner and you now have agents that are working for you and your social media is really about the company and your team, then that's when I would use a company logo. But still, all of your advisors that work with you, including yourself, if you're booking travel, should represent you. And then that affiliation, now instead of the consortium or the host agency that you may belong to, it's about your agency name, right? So that would be my only exception. So our Erica said a golden hour photo is always a stunner. And the golden hour is when the sun is in the perfect space. There's no shadow. There's just a glow. That is what the golden hour is, because harsh sunlight causes you to squint your eyes. It gives these harsh shadows. But the golden hour is when there's just a beautiful warm light. So always a stunner. Yes, I agree. Let's see here. Carrie said travel that inspires and connects. Because I was on a roll there, I didn't see when you put that in, Carrie. So I'm not sure what you're responding to there. Let's see. Aaron said recommendations on what to prioritize as far as World Via and 10 and certifications in our Instagram bio. There are so few words you can use, and I'm a wordy gal. Well, Aaron, let me tell you this. This would be a prime example of using AI or working with AI. Sorry, I coined that term, working with AI in AI instead of using AI. I would say, hey, I'm writing an Instagram bio for potential clients of my travel agency. I want to express that I'm the authority in X travel, and I am a sandals specialist, and I am affiliated with World Via Travel Network. See what it comes up with that limited space. Okay. Now, you hear me saying use who you're affiliated with, because that is, like I said, it's showing that you are a part of a larger group, right? It signals experience even if you are not experienced. Now, World Via Travel Network, we don't need you to put powered by World Via or affiliated with World Via Travel Network. We don't need that. But it is helpful when you're getting started. And there's a point when it's not going to benefit you, because you now already have clients. You've already got all those trust signals. So that's not something that you necessarily need to everybody doesn't need to do it. But when you're first getting started, it's an excellent way to signal authority. So I would always lead with who you serve. And I would lean into any of those certifications that you have. Those things to me mean more than the who you're affiliated with or the larger agency you're affiliated with. Now, if you are a part of a host agency where you are a part of their brand, that's required of you. So make sure that you know the deal in that. But I'm really glad that you asked. Let's see. All right, so let's see. Michael said, and as far as where there might be some weakness in his audit, he said affiliations. Debbie said probably affiliations. Love this. Aaron said, I have no affiliations listed. Monkey covering their eyes. Carrie said, I need to add certs, badges, affiliations, and new photo and more. So it sounds like it's a pretty big overhaul there. I'm okay with that. Lynn Rose Travel said need the certifications and affiliations as well. And Carrie, this is Carrie's follow on to the AI generated content generated image said, ha ha ha, I just want a better background, a little more polished. So I love that for you. And let me see here. I gotta switch my screens here. Where's my mouse? He just keeps disappearing from me, guys. My mouse is being a naughty mouse. All right. All right. We're going to get back into it. Thank you guys. Keep on chatting away. Okay. It does make a difference to have you guys here chatting live so we can keep on our path. So now let's go deeper. Beyond your basic profile, there are 3 trust stack elements that make you look established. These are the things that signal without you saying a word, this person is real and working. Okay. So again, write these things down. Element 1, the strategic pinned post. All right, Erica is in the chat and there's an inside joke and she said, my mouse is possessed. It's a little inside World Via HQ joke. We have some computers that tend to be possessed, and Odell on our IT team does not really like us using that term when trying to diagnose a problem with our computer. So their inside joke has now been explained. But you just threw me off, Eric. All right. So element 1, the strategic pin post. On Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn, you can pin a post to the top of your profile. Most advisors leave this empty or pin something random. So don't. Use it intentionally. Pin a post that does one of 3 jobs. Introduces you, showcases your marquee win, or invites people to take the next step. For a new advisor, I love the introduction post. Something like, hi, I'm Sarah, and I help families plan stress-free Hawaii adventures. Here are 3 things to know before booking your next island trip. Then deliver value in the post itself. That pinned post becomes your handshake. It's the first thing every new visitor sees. So think about it as that handshake, right? They saw your image, they saw your heading. Maybe they saw a little bit of your bio, but then they see, wait a minute, this is a pinned post. There must be some importance to it. So give them something. Give them something of value. All right. It becomes that handshake. So I love that. If you do not have give me a TM if right now you don't have a pinned post on your social channels. Just saying. I think I know the answer. All right. So element 2, social proof even without clients. Okay. You're new. You don't have 10 years of reviews. That's fine. Social proof doesn't only come from clients. It comes from supplier endorsements. If you trained with a brand, share a photo from the training or a quote from the BDM about your participation. And if you're new to travel, BDM stands for Business Development Manager. Okay. Travel experience, your own trips, especially recent ones. Prove you know the territory. A photo of you actually at a destination you specialize in is credibility. All right. And, a little tip from a social media course I taught recently, or it's in our, the World Via Travel Network passport course. You know what? You can also take a photo where you've got some props that signal that destination. So you can even have some fun, even if you don't have any photos from a recent trip in a destination you specialize in. Industry involvement, events you've attended, certifications you've earned, and those can come at any time, right? Masterminds you're part of, or the industry networking groups. All of these are signals. Even one strong testimonial from a friend you helped plan a trip, from a family member, from a BDM who's worked with you is more powerful than 0. So get one, display it. Okay. Element 3 is the recency signal. This sounds simple, but it's overlooked. When was your last post? When was the last update to your bio? When did your profile photo last change? If it was 2017, come on, I need you to update that photo, right? If someone clicks through and your most recent activity is from 4 months ago, you look inactive. Inactive looks unbooked. Unbooked looks unsuccessful. All right. Think about it. And I know I'm not saying anything that's just, oh my gosh, I've never thought about this before. You experience this on a daily basis with how you as a consumer explore different brands, different products, right? You have experienced this. You look for some of these same things. You see a pinned post, you probably click on it. This is not foreign, but for some reason, when we're thinking about our own business, we kind of pull back and we don't apply the things that we use in our own life. It's very strange. You don't need to post daily. We've covered that in the last show, but you need to look alive, right? A weekly post, a periodically updated bio, a recent profile photo. These create the impression of momentum, and momentum sells. Okay. So this is the segment for everyone who's hosted with WorldVia or any host agency, really, and it isn't fully leveraging it. When you're new, your host agency is one of the biggest trust amplifiers you have, but most advisors hide it. They worry it makes them look less independent or less premium. The opposite is true. When a prospect sees you're powered by a network, say powered by WorldVia Travel Network, they are seeing infrastructure. They're seeing supplier relationships. They're seeing booking technology. I don't know that they're thinking about that, but I'm just saying, I'm giving you a laundry list of things. They're seeing or they're inferring accountability. All of that lifts you up. It's not a weakness. It's leverage. All right. So here's how to use your host agency advantage. And this also applies to your consortium if you belong directly to a consortium. So one, display the affiliation prominently. Have it in your bio. It does not need to be the main thing. It's not the main event. It's just in the background saying, hey, powered by, right? In your website footer, in your email signature, on your about page, make it visible. But we'll note here, as all host agencies, all of the consortia, be sure to follow any guidelines provided by them, okay? Because there's some language that you can't use, or they may have very, very specific language that you can use. So you could say powered by WorldVia Travel Network if you're a member of WorldVia Travel Network. You could say affiliated with WorldVia Travel Network, but you can't represent yourself as WorldVia Travel Network. Now, some of you belong to a host where you have to demonstrate that you are part of that host. Everybody has similar rules for the most part, but there are some exceptions. So make sure you know what the guidelines are. All right. Number two, use shared assets. Most host agencies, and certainly WorldVia Travel Network, give members access to branded landing pages like our Advisor Showcase, supplier images, content templates, and marketing tools. Use them. You don't have to build a marketing department from scratch. Hint, hint. That's a trade secret. That's why you belong to these different organizations, to take advantage of these resources that they have. All right. Number three, stand on the shoulder of the brand's reputation. If your host has been featured in industry press, won awards, or partnered with major brands, that's your reputation by association. Mention it, reference it, let it work for you. And always, always, always trust your gut. because not every piece of press, not every mention of your host is something that helps you further your it doesn't further lift you up, right? So pick and choose what works. You don't need to be an evangelist for your host. You need to leverage what they're doing and their reputation where it best suits you. Now, again, if this is for the advisor, the agency owner that's just getting started, who hasn't started to build their own press mentions, their own credibility out in the industry. If you're already there, skip that step. But many, and I'm saying many, like I know thousands and thousands of advisors within our network and other networks that are not using that affiliation with their host to help lift them up. So don't be like that. Do it. And 4, tap into your network for collaboration. Other advisors in your host network can amplify your content. And I see it all the time. When you have your buddies within your community helping to give attention to your content, to commenting on things that you post, the momentum starts going, right? So take advantage of that. They can, the BDMs your network introduces you to can become guests or co-creators. This is how Stand Beside from the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint becomes show up, becomes stick around. All 3 movements of step 2 reinforce each other. All right. You're not pretending to be something you're not. You're showing the full picture. A new advisor backed by a network of thousands of advisors and decades of supplier relationships is not a beginner. They're a beginner with an established team behind them. That's a very, very different story. And it's the story your profile should tell. All right. Last chat break. Drop your answers or your answer, sorry. Drop this in the chat. What is the one specific thing you're going to change on your profile in the next 7 days? Be specific, not improve my bio, right? Tell me what you're actually going to write or change or add. While you're answering, let me recap what we covered today. Number 1, 3 trust signals run the show. That is affiliation, specialization, and activity. So dial those 3 in and you look established. Number 2, your profile audit covers 4 sections: the photo and header, bio, bio and the tagline, affiliations and credentials, link in bio, and website. All right. Today's workshop or worksheet walks you through all 4. And again, you can get that on the Travel Marketeers Facebook group. Okay. Number 3, your trust stack adds depth, a strategic pinned post, social proof, even without clients, and recency signals. These turn a clean profile into a magnetic one. Don't we all want to be magnetic? I want someone to say, Joshua, you're so magnetic. Wow, that was something I probably shouldn't have admitted in public. All right, number 4, your host agency is leverage, not a liability. Display it. Use the shared assets. Stand on the network's reputation. That's the booked solid advantage. Number 5, you don't need years of experience to look established. You need clarity, consistency, and trust signals stacked in the right places. That's all it is. All right. That's all that we're talking about. That's all this is. All right. So I'm going to pop over to the chat. All right. Let me get my possessed mouse to do its thing. There we go. Pop over to the chat. I'm popping. Let's see here. Oh, we got some. Look at you guys. I just adore you guys. Thank you guys for showing up on a Saturday live. I know those of you who are watching this on the replay or listening on the podcast, I know you're having fun, but I think we're having more fun live. So, all right. So let's see here. Carrie said, new profile pic. Got that. I'm not going to try and figure out what your handle stands for here, Lavarnau, but create a link tree and update my Instagram profile. I love that. So Linktree, I mentioned Linktree and I mentioned Bitly. Those are great ones. Bitly actually has they're a link shortener tool, and they also have something like that, something very much like Linktree. And there's a few others. Linktree I've used, love it, and Bitly I've used. So both of them are really good. Let's see. Aaron said add affiliation and certifications. I am down with that. Debbie said new profile picture. I need a way to add my affiliation too. I love it. I love it. Michael said, I'm going to write a pen post introducing myself. Oh, Michael, you know what?
Yeah, girl.
I love it. Create that introduction post. Say, hey, I'm Joshua Harrell, and I am the chief travel marketeer. And I am so fortunate I get to work with thousands of travel advisors around the world through various things that I'm affiliated with. I just heard that because I'm the co-chair of CLIA's Trade Relations Committee, I now represent 90,000 travel advisors across the globe. I'm just saying that's too much power. That's too much power. No, but I'm just saying, right? Like, do the introduction, have fun with it. If you are fun, if you're not fun, that's okay. You don't have to be fun because you're going to find your tribe. But do an introduction post. Even my little story, my little tangent that I just went down, right? That's very much something I would say, and I'd be kind of silly with it because I'm honored to be this co-chair of the Trade Relations Committee. So if you didn't know me, you'd say, oh, this person must be connected to the travel industry. He must be an expert. So see how that works, right? Have fun with it. Be you. Your tribe will find you as long as you show up as your authentic self. So I love that. Also wanted to pin post there. Frolic Encouraged said, I'm changing my profile photo ASAP. I love it. Let's see. Carrie said, thank you for being here. I wish I could be here for all the live sessions. Well, Carrie, I appreciate you. TM at you. And the good thing is you don't have to be here live every single time because you can now watch all of these on demand on the World Via Travel Network YouTube. You can now listen on the podcast if you want to, and you can always chime in to our private Facebook group. So it's Laura. All right. So Laura, thank you. I'm sorry. I got your I got your handle wrong there. Anyway. All right. That's a travel marketeer right there. So as you make these edits to your profile, please share before and afters in the Facebook group. I know that I would love to see him. I know that other travel marketeers would love to see him. So, as you guys have this list of edits you're going to make, do a screenshot of what your profile looked like before and then after, and share the work. So here's your homework. Download the Book Solid online profile audit worksheet from the Travel Marketeers Facebook group, right? That's where you can get it. And if you haven't already joined, make sure you do. Run the audit on your primary platform this weekend. Then, like I said, share the before and after in the group so we can celebrate it together, right? Again, I'm going to ask you follow at Travel Marketeering on Instagram and TikTok. for clips, or you can follow me at Joshua Harrell in most places. But we're wanting to put behind the scenes content, maybe some behind the scenes content in my studio here, and some short tips between episodes. Be sure to subscribe to the World Via Travel Network YouTube channel so you never miss what's coming next. Speaking of what's coming next Saturday, May 23rd, we're talking about collaborations that bring you clients, not just likes. We're going to dig into supplier partnerships, local business collaborations, and the kinds of relationships that actually drive bookings, not just engagement. You're going to leave with 3 specific partnership targets and outreach scripts you can send the same day. Don't miss it. And if you haven't grabbed the Thriving Travel Advisor Blueprint yet, it's free. It maps out all 5 steps of this series, and it's the framework behind everything we do. Download it in that Travel Marketeers Facebook group. Thanks for being here today. Whether you're live on replay or listening on the podcast, you showed up. That's step 2. Keep going, and I will see you next Saturday. TM to all of you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care, guys. Bye.